Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, for the tarot version, I'm using the Ghost Tarot by, I always mess up his name, Davide, David Cossey? You can see the spelling. That way if you want to find this deck. There's also the website here on the back, which this camera is giving the clear version of that. For the Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards, I love this deck, by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and down there at the bottom is hayhouse.com if you're interested to check all that out. And last but not least, I use dice too. I use a 22-sided dice, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool, 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element that's matching up with the Minor Arcana. It's from the dice. They're from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Feel free to check those out if you're interested. That being said, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Sagittarius? Page of Cups and the success card of the 6 of Wands. I usually wait to the end. I don't know why. I'm not patient right now. I'm just not going to be patient right now. I don't know what that's about. Something needs to be more private. Something needs to be more private. Energy went out there more before. Something needs to be more private. And it's not like we need to be quiet right away. I feel like this, like to make something more private, especially because I see the Fool in the past, and the current energy is, it's still churning around there. It's like we can't get away from it. But it's like as we keep moving forward, we have to kind of dwindle it down, and make it something that we just are very, very selective who we talk about this subject with, is what I keep getting. Something like that. You're gonna stop? Okay, good. King of Fire and the Empress. When this subject started coming forward, there's nothing to feel bad about in the past, is what I keep getting. My cat's playing with a toy. Sorry about that. Startled me. Nothing to feel bad about in the past. You had to work through this situation. You had to get information. You had to share information. What it was in the past is what it was in the past. We're not talking about feeling bad about where it was. I don't know. You gotta be careful with that because there's no need to feel bad about the past. Where we are, things are still churning. And due to the past, it created where we are right now. Okay, that's great. Fine. But it's kind of like we need to start kind of angling things and start directing things in a way where we're setting it up so we will be easier to progress in a way we want. Kind of like stop talking about certain subjects with certain people. Maybe the subject all over, like total subject, like this whole subject, this person, no. This whole group of people, maybe, no. Because there's something coming forward with this Hierophant energy and the High Priestess. Things being where they're meant to be at the moment. For where things were, where they are now is where they're meant to be for where they have been. So it's adding up where it's supposed to be at the moment. It's kind of like, things fell off the shelf, however they fell off the shelf. So at the moment, we're deciding how we're going to pick it up and how we're going to make it so it doesn't fall again. Okay, this makes sense. It's all good. Nothing. There's no problem. Current energy, no problem. Past, I don't know about the past. Current energy, no problem. There's success right here for you. And there's like this Page of Cups with this success feels very much like an oxymoron to me, because it makes it seem like there's just a little bit. I don't think there's just a little bit. I think we're just seeing a little bit right now. But it's kind of like whatever you're seeing right now, other people don't have to know the details. Other people don't have to know the details. Even people who are close to you, I don't feel like, be very selective about who knows your details. It should be fine to just kind of keep it to yourself. Be careful with the details, because right now I don't think the details have shown themselves with that Page of Cups. You got Judgment coming in, and you got a lot of good energy coming in. The Judgment card flew right out when I was shuffling it. Flew right out. Said, "Whoa, this is what we're dealing with." Judgment flew right out. Poof. And it's kind of like this isn't dependent on other people's approval for what Judgment has given to you. This is not dependent on because there's something here with other people saying, "Well, you got too much," or "You don't need all that, Sag." There's something here with somebody teasing that, playing with that. Be aware of it, because I'm getting at this point is the point where you want to kind of start pulling it back. Things might be coming forward in a slow fashion with organization. It may be slowly putting itself in perspective, slow, piece by piece. You can use this to your advantage. Start distancing yourself from the information from other people. You can have the information, but not other people. Be very selective who and where and when you'll talk about it. It could be one of these things where it's like making a recipe. You could talk about how it tasted, the texture, the flavors, but don't talk about the actual recipe and what went into it. It's an analogy, you know what I mean? The energy is good. It's just kind of we want it to stay good. Right now it's good. Right now you're in a position to where this can go the way you want it to go. And being more, I know it sounds like gatekeeping, but this is your information. You have every right to gatekeep your information. So it's kind of, if you think of your personal information, your government IDs and history and medical information and all that stuff, you have every right to gatekeep your information. Yeah, every right. Nobody is entitled to that. You know what I mean? You decide how that's used. Where are we going with this? Because something's going on here. There's a change. There's a shift in the energy. Judgment is going your way. It's coming in like this, which is kind of this is the way I call it in question. Is it going against? Is it going for? And the answer is yeah, which is great. Overall, the energy is going in your favor. It is. You got to be careful of other people not believing it's fair or wanting to take something from you. So, is it in your favor? Yes, but we got to, secure it. This thing in the environment. I like this card, but I don't know if I like how it's showing up in your reading. That one dice just likes to go around the world. You got the Lover's card and the Five of Pentacles reversed. People are gonna, whatever this is, people are gonna love you who don't really love you. Why am I saying it that way? There's something here. What do they love? They love to know the truth. Something is a little off with this. The Lover's card is a good card, but the thing is with the Lover's card for Sagittarius, the Lover's card talks about Gemini energy sometimes, which can be very contradictory and confusing and hard for Sagittarius. The energy of love is great for Sag. Great, wonderful. But the energy of Gemini, a lot of times Gemini and Sag clash and they have issues. It's a weird energy here. This doesn't feel like there's too much being shared. There's too much people trying to get you to talk, trying to get you to go forward, and they have ideas. Now that you've gotten your judgment, I feel like somebody, or maybe more than one somebody, might have ideas of like, now that you got your judgment, Sag, maybe I should make it my judgment. Sure, it was judgment in your favor, Sag, but I'm gonna make it my judgment. I'm just gonna try to find a way to do that. And that Lover's card is like they're liking you maybe for the wrong reasons. And now my cat is racing around the house for whatever reason. Okay, so squirrely energy might be a part of that. Keep that in mind. Squirrely, unpredictable, all over the place energy might be a part of that. Thanks. You can thank my cat for that message. The Tower is coming up later. This doesn't have to be bad for you. They're just trying to give you, like, if you pull back the energy, you pull back the information, this doesn't have to be an issue, because there will be a stress spot in the future. A stress spot. So I almost feel like, I keep feeling this energy kind of like, yeah, what else is new? A stress spot in my life? You're kidding. How could such a thing happen? Random. Page of Fire and the Chariot card. The Chariot can talk about family connections for me, the way I read it. Loyalties, questionable loyalties. Could be work or friends, but there's questionable loyalties and something going on here. I think of the Chariot as a very loyal energy. Very, like, the Chariot doesn't go that far from home. It's not a long trip. It's a fight for the close. It fights for the home ground, the way I understand it. Like, that's how I see the Chariot anyway. I also see a lot of Cancer energy with that. Which things should go well for you in this situation. Be careful about historical connections. Historical connections? I keep looking at this. It's not, I mean, it's the Sun card. It's the Ghost Tarot, so that's why the Sun card looks like that. But be careful of just trusting historical connections. Historical connections. Be aware of historical connections. Something about historical. I have to say historical. I don't know why. Historical. Maybe look at the history of the situation. Be careful. There's a stress spot. Something about history. I guess when it happens, it'll make more sense. Because they're saying, just because other people think that you owe them, that doesn't mean that's true. It does not mean that's true. There's no reason you can't just be like, oh, that's nice, gotta go. I keep seeing this one thing play out. It's like maybe like there's a family lunch, family dinner, whatever, and maybe somebody from out of town is there or something, and you're like, I don't really want to go. You just don't. You're sad. You can make yourself busy. You can make yourself busy. You can. Oh, last minute. You know, choked on an olive. Got to go to the hospital. Sorry, can't help you. Talk to you next year. Whatever. You don't have to engage in certain things. Even if other people think you do, you're sad. You can make yourself busy. Oh, I forgot. Or, oh, I got caught up in this. And, oh, next thing I know, I was 500 miles away. These things happen. I don't mean to be so facetious, but I guess I do. Don't let other people make you feel obligated to things that you really aren't. I keep getting like, they're saying, they're giving you a chance here. Just because other people believe you should be obligated or there's some type of social restraint or something here doesn't mean you have to buy into that. Write your own rules here. You know what I mean? Just because it looks like oh, well, on paper I'm supposed to do this. Yeah, well, paper also gives you paper cuts, and they won't feel good. Just because the paper is in effect today doesn't mean it's going to be valid tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when like registrations or stuff run out, like at some point this energy is going to run out. Don't buy into this. Just because somebody else put some rules on a paper doesn't mean you have to adhere to them. It's up to you. It's up to you, but they're saying you don't have to do this. You don't have to be in connection. If somebody, because they feel like somebody's going to try to box you in or corner you. Aha, now we got you, Sag, and now we're going to like put your feet to the fire on this. Don't show up. Don't show up to it. Then you don't have to have your feet to the fire. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why I'm like making sounds about it, but that's all I'm saying. Yeah, they'll be bent. They'll be bent. they'll get over it. If, you know, all right, let me put it this way. They'll be bent. Yeah, they'll be bent. Maybe that's good. If there's any value, if there's any true value in your life here, it'll be temporary. If they're bent and they make this like a point of contention for years on end, see it for what it really is. Because it's not that big a deal. Because what they might be really bent out of shape about is you didn't let them manipulate you. And if that's what they're bent out of shape about, let them be bent and move on. I'm just saying. After this is all said and done, there's this point of contention, yes. Based on how that plays out, you'll be left with your opportunity, your judgment in your favor, whatever it is. Your Ace of Pentacles shows up. And I'm getting, when your Ace of Pentacles shows up, you want to keep selective people out. I'm kind of feeling the majority of people, whatever this is, it needs to be your business. The more it's just your business and not everybody's business, the more you get from it, the better it is for you, the more it's supposed to be for you. This is meant for you. This is judgment for you, not for everybody else and their brother. No, this is meant for Sag. So keeping it as private as you can, keeping people away from it as much as you can, it's meant to be yours. It doesn't mean you have to hoard it. It doesn't mean you have to hide it under a pillow. I'm not saying that. But like the more you just keep the energy to yourself and you use it the way you decide you want to, what suits you best, that's what it's meant for. That's what it's meant for. Are we good? Done. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.